Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Now I normally don't do anything like this or make a video like this, but I just thought it was a neat idea. Since the Persona 25th anniversary came up and everyone's wanting to know about Persona 6, and if you're new to the channel or if you've been following me for a while, you know I like to tell stories and make my own stories, and I like video games, and that's why I love RPG Maker, so I can be able to do my own things or tell my own stories. And then just out of the blue one day I thought, yeah, I like the Persona series. I mean, I played the first one, The Innocent Sin Eternal Punishment of 2, I played 3, and even a little bit of the female route, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5. And the thought came to me, what if I could make a Persona game? Or what if I was chosen to make the story of Persona 6? How would I do it? And that's where the idea for this video came from. And I'm going to use RPG Maker to kind of help get some of the visual points that I'm trying to make across. And let's get started. But before we do get started though, this will have some minor spoilers for the series, but nothing too bad. Mainly for like 3, 4, and 5. And there'll be some dark themes, so if that bothers you, you can click off. But with all the warnings out of the way, let's jump right into it. There'll be a darker theme going off a little bit of what Persona 5 established with the Phantom Thieves. But I'll get much more into that. But how the game would start off, you would get the choice of choosing the main character if you're a boy or if you're a girl. Now, I would like an older cast, either in college or already has a job, but since it's a Persona game, odds are it's going to be high school kids, and for simplicity reasons, I'll keep them as high school kids. If I could have control of it, I would make them older than high school kids, although there will be older cast members joining the team. Because, I mean, let's face it, in some of them games, there's some stuff that you need an adult for, like a high school kid wouldn't be allowed to do. Now, for the main character's backstory. Now, if you pick the male or female, it'll be basically the same, but the situation is they're kind of in a terrible situation where they feel trapped and they don't feel like they can get out of. Let's just say it's bullying. Like, no one to help, and when they try to do the right thing and they do talk to people, no one gets involved, no one steps in until finally they snap and they attack the bully. Now, if there was an older cast, then it would be a similar situation. Either they attack a coworker or a boss, or if they was in college, it would be a teacher. Anyways, after the assault, you have to change schools, and if you picked a male, you'd be living with your uncle. If you picked a female, your aunt would be taking you in, while your parents are working overseas. Come on, it's a Persona game. So how it will work is that while the main protagonist is on their way to school, they'll see a worker of sorts, maybe like a retail worker, being bullied by their boss. And after school they go and they find an old flip phone, kind of like similar to Persona 5 where they have the Metaverse app. The flip phone will transport them to the other world or a shuttle world. Once there, they'll see the mascot character, and the mascot character, well, I haven't thought about what they would look like. Anyways, once they unlock the power of Persona, they attack one of the monsters, and then once they go back to the regular world, the mascot character turns into like a plushie, and the employee that was being bullied by his boss, the boss has settled down and is no longer picking on them. And that's how you meet your party members, either through helping them out and them wanting to help other people out. And it could range from people from school to the employees you help to just anybody that you help. A neat thing though will be the gender that you didn't choose will be a party member with like their canon name and their backstory and stuff, which is also, but they're both really similar to each other. Now on the topic of dating, just to get it over with, when you choose your gender, whether you're male or female, if you pick the female, you can date the other male members in the social links like you always can in Persona games, but you can't date the male counterpart, and vice versa for the male. Because let's face it, in Persona 3, if you had the female main character also part of the party members, you'd be dating them over everybody else. I mean, let's just be honest. The game would be similar to the Phantom Thieves, how they're like changing people's hearts, and these people will be changing people and trying to clean up their town and basically getting rid of the evil of what they can get rid of. They're not trying to conquer the world and get rid of the evil of the world, but just mainly of the small towns, because they'd be kind of like in a rural area where they're also close to like cities and countries, so they can kind of bounce around, and they're just trying to clean up their local areas, I should say. And some of the quests they'll get, it could be someone that's being like physically abused, mentally abused, bullied, sexually abused, or they're trying to stop themselves from committing suicide, or just some other crimes that they need that these people can help them with. And or even if it's to seek justice from like, oh, a thief stole from me and the cops went to them and I know they did it and I have some proof, but the cops really can't do nothing to them, or they lock them up for a few months and they're right back out doing it again as soon as they get out, stuff like that. But here's where the problem would lie. There's other Persona users just like the main party, you know, high school kids and mixture of adults, kind of like the main party. But instead of fixing the towns for justice, they want to rule and corrupt them. Now how the other side will work is that in each town you visit to hang out with your friends or to raise your social links, those will be the same towns where the dungeons will lie. So like the main premise of this is kind of like a turf war, like you battling against the other members. If your team conquers the town, then it would be good with less crime rate. But if you lose, then the town will be more trashier, corrupt, more crime rate, and just be kind of like a dangerous place. How that will work is that in each town there's going to be like a super strong shadow. To give an example, this shadow will be basically kind of like controlling the other shadows, so if you purify with your team, then it will make the other shadows kind of good, but if the other team corrupts it, then it will be evil and thus conquering that town. Now how the personas will work. For example, like in Persona 4, the main character can carry 12 personas by the end of the game. In this game, however, you will only be able to carry 6, and the other main character of the opposite gender that you didn't pick will be carrying the other 6. And how the battle system will kind of work would be you have more than 4 party members, kind of like the older games where you'd be kind of like fighting on the grid. Now if you defeat the enemy in a certain character's grid range, you'd be able to help the other ones, but you can only help the ones that are closest to you, so it kind of make formation kind of important, but you can change formation, but that would just be wasting one of your turns. I don't know, I haven't really thought too much on the battle system to be honest. It will stay, you know, the turn based like it has always been. Now onto the Velvet Room, it would be accessed by both of the main characters. Now how it works is that the female character will have a male lawyer, and the male character will have a female lawyer, and Igor would be the judge, and the design would be similar to a courtroom. Some of your party members will also die, and so would the gang that you're fighting as well. You will also be betrayed by some of your party members. Now it would either be a character that's already preset to betray you, or it might even be like a character that you made rank 10 first with, or it might be the person that you're dating, or maybe if you pick multiple party members to date, it might pick them randomly. That way it makes the betrayal more meaningful. Outside of the dungeons, I would make the party members very, very close, probably closest in the entire series, and there would be no abused anime tropes that some of the Persona games do a lot. But as the game progressed and some of your party members attack some of the gang members, and some of the gang members do die and some of your party members die, it does weigh on the party's mind, which makes the betrayal not really noticeable but not exactly out of left field either. Also the social links like in Persona 5, when they reach near level 10 you have to do a side quest to help them. Now to the grand scheme of things, there is 2 gods, and they see these towns that are close together, and one of them decides to destroy them because of their wickedness. The other one decides that they want to save them. So they make a bet and they give people the power of Persona to change the towns. If the evil wins, the one god will destroy them. However, if they can be purified, they will be saved. Now how the main character gets involved. The good god goes to Igor in the Velvet Room and asks him to help him choose a person to help them purify the towns. Now near at the end of the game, for the final battle, there's an equal number of towns that are saved and corrupted, leading to a final battle between you and the other gang leader, their second in command, and your party members that have betrayed you. After defeating them, as a final result, they summon the evil god to help them. Now the good god sees the other god helping them out, so they intervene and help your party members unlock their ultimate persona. After beating the god, the gang leader absorbs him, finishing the god off, unlocking their ultimate personas, because the gang leader and their second command are also wildcards, like the 2 main characters. The good god thanks the members and fixes the evil towns, turning them back to normal, allowing the cops to arrest the gang leader and also to lower the crime rate back down. After that, the phone shatters and the team takes a long-awaited vacation that they have planned once it was all over. After the credits, you see whatever main characters you have picked, you've seen them on the beach, enjoying their vacation, which they happen to stumble upon another cell phone that allows them to go to the other side, meaning that they still got people to help and that the good god would wish for them to continue helping people. And that's basically the story that I would make for Persona 6. Now this wasn't like a super in-depth or super big details, I wanted to keep the video short, and if you happen to make it this far, I absolutely applaud you from getting through this absolute train wreck of a video. I've never done anything like this, and just please bear with it, and I really do appreciate you lasting this long if you did. Now if I made Persona 6, this would be the story I would like to tell. If you don't care to, comment down below if you were to make Persona 6, what story you would tell, or what some things that you would change in the Persona series that you would like to see them do differently, or to add. And once again, thank you for sticking around for this video, and until next time.